Okay, so we are going live soon. I like to start the broadcasting with this banner because a lot of other broadcastings they go live for a few minutes without any images or without starting the show because people getting the notifications sometimes they are driving or sometimes they are doing something else and they can't really start watching for a minute or two or more sometimes, but typically I will say probably about a minute or two. People need a little bit of time to really tune in, and that's what I like to do here. And I like to wait about a minute, um, you know. So we are close to a minute, so we are going live in five, four, three, two, and one. What is going on? My name is Ben, and welcome to another episode of my daily vlog where I strive to inspire you to achieve your goals and therefore your dreams. How are you? I was just thinking about starting my show with a different phrase related to Father's Day because today is Father's Day, and therefore this is the Father's Day special. So I'm just gonna talk about fatherhood, and let me start by saying that we just came back home from Fun Spot, which is an arcade museum in Laconia, New Hampshire. We went there with my two beautiful daughters and with my beautiful wife, and we had a good time. Although it was very exhausting because Brianna was running around the place and she wouldn't stop, and she was so happy and so excited, and she just couldn't stop running and going from one place to the other place. So it was great. I had a great time. I had a great, wonderful Father's Day because there's nothing more joyful for a father, for a parent, to see your child having so much fun. So, before I was a dad, I was always craving, I guess, to have children one day, and I always thought about, oh, I will see other babies and I will say I would love to really hold that baby and hug that baby, but I never actually did because it was weird that I wanted to hug a baby. But I always thought one day I will have my own babies and I will be able to hug them and I won't feel bad at all. So, and that's what I do now, and it's a wonderful thing to hug them and give them lots of love. And, before I was a dad, I always thought that I understood how to be a dad, and I knew I wouldn't understand it until I became a dad. And there is a lot of that it was actually truth after becoming a dad. And I do have some notes here that I wrote preparing for this show. And I wanted to tell you, first of all, the disclaimer is that I'm not here to give you advice on being a dad because I'm also not saying that I'm the best father in the world. Okay, so I want to just say that because, again, I'm not here to, show you that I'm a dad and I'm a great dad. No, I don't know if I'm a great dad. I try my best every day, and I'm sure I'm successful many times, and I'm sure sometimes I'm not, but I can't really judge myself other than telling you that I do my best every time I can. And then my kids will they are the ones who will be able to judge me one day, and I will trust their judgment. Also, my wife is another judge because she's with me most of the time unless she's working. So that out of the way, the other note I have is that I wrote, every father worth to carry the title will tell you that being a father is the best thing that ever happened to them. So what I mean by that is like every father worth to carry the title of being a father. So meaning that, I will say that most fathers, I would like to say all fathers, but that's not true. But most fathers will tell you that being a father is the best thing that ever happened to them. And that's why I don't like to say all fathers, because there are some fathers who don't feel that way. And I think that if you don't feel that way, you don't really are worthy of carrying the title of being a father. Because why in the world did you actually become a father if you didn't want to be a father in the first place, right? So being a father obviously is a responsibility and it's a blessing, and so I think we should treat it as such. And again, I'm not giving you advice. I'm just saying that that's the way I approach it. And what are the notes I have? And again, I'm going to share my experience with you about being a father, and that's it. And what being a father means to me. But again, I don't really want you to take it as I'm giving you advice on how to be a father or how to be a better father, because again, I'm not going to do that. And I always want to keep these episodes short. So that's not my thing to do. That's not, even though I'm a father, that's not my expertise. This channel is not about how to be a father, how to be a better channel. But this episode is about being a father, right? And what it means to me. And if you're not a father, I think you can understand what a father is like, but you can't really feel what it's like. And you may be able to understand it to a certain degree if you're not a father. Right? So you can understand it up to a 90%, 95%. I don't know, whatever is your level of understanding and whatever is your wish to become a father. And however much you read, however much you ask other fathers that you're around in your life. So it's really, I think that before I was a father myself, I was able to understand what a father is like by looking at my dad and by looking at other dads and looking at my other friends' fathers. And I think that I had a really good idea. But again, I think there's nothing like being a father, right? So the other thing I wanted to tell you that I have here in my notes is that I always like to tell this story that really helped me understand what being a father is like a little bit more. And this is before I was a dad. And the story is I was working with this guy. His name is Dean, and I'm not really going to say his last name or where is the place we work together, because I don't even know if he wants me to share this story. But anyway, it's a good story. And he talking about being a father, because he is a dad, and my wife was pregnant at the time, and he said to me, speaking about being a father, he told me, if we compare being a father with playing video games, being a father is to going to a whole new level of that same video game. Meaning that when you become a father, it's still you, and the things are the same, but it's a new level. I'm not saying that it's a better level or a lower level. It's just a different level. I'm not saying I'm also not saying it's a different dimension, but it's things really, I guess, shift. And I also don't want to say your perspective shift and your priorities shift, because yes, that's true. And just because of many reasons of the responsibility of being a father, of course, but it's not too much about that. It's like, I guess that I can't really exactly 100% with 100% of certainty explain you what's the change, but something does change. And to me, it was when my daughter was born. So I was there when my wife was giving birth, and in that moment, things changed. Not when my wife was pregnant, which yes, something did change there, but it's like such a delicate process being pregnant that I didn't feel the change until I was actually a father, until my actually was actually born. And same thing, a similar thing happened to me years before when I became an uncle. When I saw my niece for the first time, things did change to me. Is I felt like, well, now I felt the responsibility with my niece, meaning like I think I will give my life for this girl if I have to. And if something happens to her parents, I will be her father. I will take care of her. So from that perspective, things changed for me. And again, it's a different level because she is not my daughter, of course. But I felt that responsibility entering my life, and when I became a dad of Brianna, my oldest daughter, she's 4, and that was there as well. A little bit stronger because she's my daughter, and so things did change for me. So, like playing to a whole new different level of life. If you're playing a video game. So the other thing I wanted to show you is this T-shirt that my beautiful wife gave me today. I need to stand. So it's really fitting with who I am because it says Daddy Pirate, and this is my Jack Sparrow tattoo. And so thank you so much, Kelsey. Thank you, because it was really thoughtful of you. It's something that is meaningful, so I really appreciate it. This is my favorite Father's Day gift ever. Obviously talking about material gifts because my favorite gift are my girls. But anyway, talking about material gifts, this is my favorite gift ever. So thank you so much, Kelsey, for doing this for me. And what else? Before I jump into a few quotes that I have today, I think I read you all the things I wanted to tell you all being a father. And maybe an extra note will be that, yes, being a father is the best thing that ever happened to me, and it's a great thing. And I also feel like they are an investment to me. So they are, and not. I don't want to sound cold, but it's an investment. Like every hour I spend with them, every thing I give them is, on a way, it's like I'm investing that into my own company, right? It's like my own enterprise. Even though I don't really feel I own my children, they're not like my property, even though they're under my responsibility and they're my kids. They're citizens of this world, and they're free to choose whatever they want. Whenever they turn 18 and they want to leave home. So I am going to support them no matter what they choose. So the only thing I will always ask my kids is to be good people without hurting somebody else or hurting themselves. That's it. Then they can do whatever they want. As long as they are good people, they don't hurt other people, and they don't hurt themselves, right? So that's kind of my philosophy of what I want to teach them, right? So the way I want them, I expect them to be. And one of the quotes that I have for you tonight talks about expectations with your kids. And that is essentially the foundation of my expectation or expectations with my girls. Both of them, I have 2. I may have more in the future, who knows? But as of today, I have 2 beautiful little girls. Brianna, she's 4, and Hazel is 1.5 years. So anyway, I'm going to go with the quotes. And if I remember something else I wanted to tell you about fatherhood, I will tell you before the show is over. The quotes that I have for you tonight are: every father should remember one day his son will follow his example, not his advice. Good quote. And that is by Charles Kettering, I think. And the other quote I have reads: my father gave me the greatest gift anyone could give another person. He believed in me. And that is by Jim Valvano. True, you have to believe in your children. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to believe your children, because sometimes kids, when they're young, they lie to you because they want to get something from you. But I think we get what the gist of he's trying to say, that, believe in your children, encourage them to conquer the world or do whatever they want, right? Not do whatever they want, but become whatever they want to become. I guess that's another way to say it. And the next quote reads, "You don't raise heroes, you raise sons. And if you treat them like sons, they'll turn out to be heroes, even if it's just in your own eyes." And that is by Walter M. Schirra. So, good quote too. The next one is, "A father is a man who expects his son to be a good man as he meant to be." And that is by Frank A. Clark. Of course, when I'm saying son, obviously that applies for daughter too. And here's a quote that actually talks about daughters. And the next quote reads, "A father is always making his baby into a little woman. And when she's a woman, he turns her back again." And that is by Enid Bagnold. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, happy Father's Day if you are a father, and God bless you and your children. And I really wish you an excellent, a strong life together, and a really strong bond and relationship. They are everything to me, and I heard from many other parents, not only fathers but mothers too, because mothers are great. That is the best thing that can ever happen. So enjoy your life as a father. Every day is important. Every hug is important, because you never know what's going to happen the next day to anybody. Tragedy can come to, unfortunately, anybody, your children, yourself. So enjoy them every day that you can. It's priceless, the time you spend with them, and it's the best investment you can do with your time. There's just no question about that. And that's all that I've got for you tonight. Again, a happy Father's Day if you are a father. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. Your likes really do help my channel. They make me so happy. And it's a win-win, I guess, for everybody. I hope it's also a win for you. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And if you want notifications, hit that bell, or that bell there is somewhere in there. And if you have any questions, very important, leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible, typically the very next day, unless I need to research my answer, in which case it will take me a bit longer, but I promise you I will reply to you as soon as possible. And again, thank you so much for watching. If you're a father, happy Father's Day, and I will see you tomorrow night. Good night.